This podcast is brought to you by Three Rivers Energy Partners. In today's episode of Digest This, their new deal includes a big station upgrade, so 125 more buses run on RNG.
2.5 million gallons of RNG annually, fueling another 150 vehicles and a bunch of third-party fleets in Connecticut.
Stoke Space prepping rockets for reusability, so they use this ultra-high purity LNG for engine testing. Welcome to Digest This, Unpacking Our Sustainable Future, where we dive deep into the latest developments in sustainability and renewable energy. Join us in exploring the pioneering solutions and technologies that are shaping our future. Now, let's dive into today's episode.
All right, folks, welcome back to Digest This, Unpacking Our Sustainable Future. I'm Alex, here with Emily. Emily, how's it going?
Doing great, Alex. Excited for today because we are going to be discussing the news release from the RNG Coalition, talking about fleets signing fuel deals with clean energy to supply renewable natural gas.
So, for anyone catching up after last episode's shipping policy deep dive, we're shifting gears literally into RNG and transportation. There's just been this insane momentum, largely because Clean Energy Fuels announced a bunch of new agreements with all sorts of partners nationally. It's like RNG fleets are multiplying before our eyes.
Yeah, and it's not only about the big haulers anymore. But let's start with what they announced about the United Dairymen of Arizona. It was stated that they signed up for 200,000 gallons of RNG. They're sending 5 fleets out on the roads with natural gas trucks. That's milk moving so much cleaner through the whole supply chain.
And they mentioned that Paper Transport also signed up to receive about 250,000 gallons each year from Clean Fuels to fuels about a dozen new trucks, and they already run almost 50 on RNG across 9 states. They're not new to this. They've been phasing in natural gas for years. It feels like some of these companies, they've kind of been quietly pioneering what all these flashy new deals are about.
Absolutely. And meanwhile, Berkmeyer Trucking, Giant Oil in Pennsylvania, Pitt, Ohio, all folding RNG into their mix. Berkmeyer's got a dedicated private station for about 15 vehicles, another 100,000 gallons a year. It's funny, you read all these press releases and it's a bit like RNG bingo, trucks, waste haulers, recycling, even uniform delivery, all with their chips in.
Ha, RNG bingo. I love that. But seriously, the diversity here is kind of wild. This isn't just about long haul anymore. Every one of these sectors needs reliability, cost savings, and compliance. And now RNG's sitting at that crossroad, offering actual solutions that don't just sound good in an annual report.
And Alex, let's not forget about the range of vehicles. I mean, Vestas, a uniform company, is fueling medium-duty trucks in Texas and California, 12 of them running on RNG. Then there's the Atlantic City Jitney Association, which always stands out to me because they've got nearly 200 shuttle buses, some of which double as emergency vehicles during hurricanes. Their new deal includes a big station upgrade, so 125 more buses run on RNG. That's real resilience for a city fleet, especially when power goes out in those big storms.
Yeah, and that reliability thing, such a good point. We take it for granted, but when you've got natural gas fueling stations, you're immune to some of those grid outages. The Jitneys, they're more than just shuttles. They're on the front line when the city needs to move people fast during emergencies. So it's not just about air quality or carbon, it's about continuity of service too.
And now, it's not even just about the roads. Clean Energy also inked new bulk LNG deals for space companies. Stoke Space, prepping rockets for reusability, so they use this ultra-high purity LNG for engine testing. Astrobotic, working on lunar landers, same thing. RNG-derived fuel for rocket engines. Can you imagine telling someone 10 years ago that gas made from waste or dairy manure might send a rover to the moon?
It's completely surreal. We're seeing the same core tech, RNG and high-purity LNG, serving everything from garbage routes in Connecticut to literal rocket launches. If that doesn't scream versatility, I don't know what does. And it's another thing we've been talking about for months, Emily. How circular economy principles are going mainstream, right into sectors nobody would have expected a few years ago.
Yeah, and that brings us right to the heart of the matter. Why are so many fleets, big and small, making this move now? If you look at Republic Services, Ecotech Waste Logistics, or even USA Hauling and Recycling, it's partly the emissions reductions. There's no arguing how big that is for waste companies especially. But it's also about real financial savings. Diesel is not getting cheaper, and RNG is coming in at a significant discount, especially when you can lock in a long-term supply deal.
Exactly. That is why Three Rivers Energy Partners focuses on long-term, think 15 to 20-year contracts for both feedstock partners and gas offtake. It helps all parties involved plan their operations around consistent pricing. Now, the USA Hauling and Recycling's deal 2.5 million gallons of RNG annually, fueling 150 vehicles and a bunch of third-party fleets in Connecticut. And they're even building their own 5th fueling station now. That's a big move into RNG.
The Atlantic City Jitney fleet is another great example. The city got state funding to replace old vehicles with new RNG shuttles. They specifically called out the reliability they've seen during hurricanes, plus all those air quality benefits for a heavily trafficked city center. And that savings story isn't just marketing. It's showing up on their municipal balance sheets.
And Ecotech in Indiana, 300,000 gallons to run 30 waste vehicles. It's affordable, it scales, and the tech is here today. And as we discussed in Episode 8, RNG offers a kind of sustainability you can actually measure. It's not just a green label, there are tangible data points on GHG cuts. But Emily, here's a real question for you. What about businesses sitting on the fence because they're staring down that upfront transition cost?
Yeah, this comes up a lot. If you're running a fleet, you've got to weigh that initial spend. New engines or upgrades, new fueling stations, staff training, against the future paybacks in fuel savings, regulatory compliance, and frankly, keeping customers happy. My advice is, don't let the sticker shock make the decision for you. Do a serious total cost of ownership analysis and make sure your sustainability and finance leads are working together. Too often, those conversations stay siloed when they really need to be in the same room, looking at the big picture and thinking long-term. Who actually leads? I think it's shifting. More businesses are bringing together their operations, sustainability, and finance teams to tackle these decisions as a group.
Yeah, and I'd just add, involve the people who actually keep the wheels turning day to day, the folks in the depots, in dispatch, maintenance. They've got critical insights too. The transition's smoother when everyone has skin in the game and can flag where efficiencies or surprises might pop up.
Now, let's talk about policy because none of this growth would be happening without that tailwind from incentives. Just last year, the federal Renewable Fuel Standard, all those state clean fuel initiatives, plus now the Renewable Natural Gas Incentive Act of 2025 sitting in Congress, these help RNG projects pencil out. This act, if it passes, is set to give producers a $1 per gallon tax credit for RNG used in motor vehicles, which is a huge deal for project financing.
Yeah, that legislation's still in the works, but it's already causing a ripple in the market. Add to that all the state-level grants, like the ones Atlantic City tapped into, and local mandates for cleaner fleets. You start to see why fleet operators are jumping in now. There's this sense that if you're going to invest in a fuel shift anyway, you're better off getting those early mover incentives before they tighten eligibility or funding caps.
Right. And at the municipal level, we've seen cities like Raleigh in North Carolina make news as the first in the state to power their buses with RNG. These kinds of local regulations, sometimes straight-up requirements to reduce tailpipe emissions, are forcing everyone from refuse haulers to public transit to rethink their options.
So, if you're a business leader blueprinting your next moves, where do you start? First, map out every incentive available: federal, state, utility rebates. And keep your eye on upcoming rules. Even if there's no hard mandate yet, it always pays to be ready before regulations hit.
That all sounds about right. The landscape's shifting so fast, but the big takeaway is this: RNG adoption isn't slowing down. It's a real opportunity for savings, for cleaner communities, and for future-proofing fleets. There's new ground to cover as RNG and renewables keep blending together. And hey, Alex, that feels like the perfect spot to wrap up. Always great talking with you.
Likewise, Emily. Thanks as always. And thanks to everyone listening. Keep those questions coming, and we'll catch you next time on Digest This: Unpacking Our Sustainable Future. Take care. Thank you for listening to Digest This, Unpacking Our Sustainable Future, a Three Rivers Energy Partners podcast. Three Rivers Energy Partners is a renewable energy company that empowers organizations with the ability to create a sustainable future by converting organic waste streams into renewable energy and resources. To get the latest episode of Digest This, or to find out more about Three Rivers Energy Partners, visit threeriversenergy.com or find us on LinkedIn, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. The sustainable future is being created right now. Keep exploring and keep up to speed with the latest in renewable energy and sustainability. See you next time.